Which of these animals is radially symmetrical? The correct option here is B, Hydra. Hydra is radially symmetrical. When you say an organism is radially symmetric, you can cut it in any plane and you get two similar halves. You can cut it in any plane and you get two similar halves. That's radial symmetry. For bilateral symmetry, like in butterfly and human beings, if you cut it in one half, only in one plane, and you get two similar halves, that's bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. Some organisms are asymmetric. You can't get two similar halves. Something like the sponges. The correct answer here is B, Hydra. Deamination occurs in the correct option is the liver. Occurs in the liver. It is the breakdown of excess amino acids into urea and glucose. Our body cannot store excess amino acids. So it will take the ones it will need and then it will remove the excess. The excess is broken down to urea and glucose. The nitrogen containing part of the amino acid is converted first of all to ammonia, which is very toxic, and then to less toxic urea. Then the rest of the amino acid is converted to glucose. The process is called deamination. It occurs in the liver. So the correct option here is liver. In an agricultural ecosystem, the biotic component consists of the correct option here is A, crops, pests, and beneficial insects. When you are talking about biotic components of an ecosystem, we are talking about the living things in that ecosystem, the living components of the ecosystem. The non-living components of the ecosystem is called abiotic factors. So the correct option here is A. Unlike auxins, gibberellins, the correct option here is B, do not affect leaf and fruit abscission. Okay, both of them are growth promoters in plants. They are hormones, plant hormones that promote growth in plants. But auxin can be involved in falling of fruits and leaves from trees. So the correct option here is B. Which of the following relationships involves only one organism? The correct option here is saprophytism. Saprophytes, like mushroom, they feed on dead organic matter. Okay, so it involves just one organism, the saprophyte that is feeding on the dead organic matter. So the correct option here is A. Double fertilization is a unique feature of, the correct option here is A, angiosperms. That's flowering plants. In flowering plants, you have what we call double fertilization. When pollen grains are carried from the anther to the stigma, it's called pollination. Now, these pollen grains will germinate to form a pollen tube that grows down through the style to the ovule. Okay, this is the ovule. Inside the ovule, you have the egg cell. That's the female gamete. Now, the pollen grain contains a nucleus known as the generative nucleus. The generative nucleus will divide to form two male gametes, and the two male gametes will be carried by the pollen tube to the ovule. One of the male gametes will fertilize the egg cell to form a zygote, while the other male gamete will fertilize the polar nuclei. This is the polar nuclei, okay, to form the endosperm cell. So what happens here is called double fertilization. It occurs in flowering plants, angiosperms. So the correct option here is A. The bright colors of the comb and feathers in the peacock are for courtship. They are for courtship. The male peafowl, which we call the peacock, is brightly colored. You see the tail feathers, very, very colorful. Okay, they use that to attract the female. To attract the female is courtship. So number 7 is C, courtship. The main functions of the petal of a flower is to attract pollinating agents. Correct option here is A. You can see for insect pollinated flowers, when you look at the petals, it's very colorful. Okay, the petals are also scented. All this is to attract insects for pollination. They are colorful, they are scented, they have nectar. It is for attraction of pollinating agents. So the correct option here is A. The mammalian endocrine system is responsible for, the correct option here is the chemical coordination. Chemical coordination. Of course, there are two coordinating systems in the body, the endocrine system and the nervous system. Why the nervous system uses impulses, electrical impulses to transmit information, the endocrine system uses chemicals called hormones to transmit impulses. So the correct option here is the chemical coordination. The following organisms are hermaphrodites except the correct option here is C, schistosomia. These worms, schistosomes, are not hermaphrodites. They have the male and the female organism. So before all these ones, snails, tapeworm, that's Taenia solium, C. Hermaphrodites have both the male and female organ. One parent can produce sperm cell and egg cell. So the only one that can do it here is schistosomes. So number 10 is C.